Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of the Ratliff Mandolins weekly production diary. My name is Audie Ratliff and I have to confess that I didn't really take too much video this week of the work on the mandolins, but I did sort of keep notes so that I can share with you all of the things that got accomplished this week. Now, if you're a regular watcher of the series, then you know that last week was Christmas week. Christmas fell on Sunday. Normally, I will come in to the shop on Sunday and kind of put tools back up and clean the messes up and sweep the floors and get everything ready for Monday so that Monday will be a productive work day. But this week, of course, being Christmas Day on Sunday, I didn't do that. So I spent the morning on Monday kind of doing that, cleaning up and everything. And so I didn't get a whole lot done on Monday before my students showed up, but I did get mandolin number 5, which, if you'll recall, had the last piece of binding glued on it the week before. I did get it cleaned up, 120 grit cleaned up and put in a box to await its neck. So that's what we're doing. For those of you who are not following the series, is we're binding a batch of 10 mandolins. So that pretty much took, by the time I did that, my students started showing up on Monday afternoon. That pretty much took care of my whole workday Monday. But there was always Tuesday. And my notes for Tuesday tell me that I put mandolin number 6 in the binding fixture where mandolin number 5 was. And I got the first piece of binding on mandolin number 6. It's got black binding. And then number 3, which had all of the pieces of binding glued on it, I cleaned it up and put it in a box as well to await its neck. And I also got the last piece of binding on mandolin number 4. And so it's sitting there Tuesday evening, ready to be cleaned up as well as soon as that dries. And then, of course, I had some friends over. They come over and we make music every Tuesday evening, and they come and showed up, and that pretty much filled up my day. First piece of binding on mandolin number 6. Number 3 got cleaned up and put in a box, and I got the last piece of binding on mandolin number 4. That was Tuesday, and that brings us to Wednesday. Wednesday, I happened to get 2 pieces of binding on mandolin number 6. I got the first piece of binding on mandolin number 7. Number 4, which the previous day I glued on the last piece of binding. I got it all cleaned up and put it in a box to await its neck. And number 8, although I didn't actually glue any binding on, I got it up on the binding jig and started cleaning the scroll up and getting this first slot cuts for its first piece of binding. And so that's what I got done on Wednesday. And the next day, of course, is Thursday. And now Thursday, I did a lot of work on Thursday. Didn't have too many interruptions. We started with mandolin number 6 right here. I glued the next to the last piece of binding on Thursday morning, and come back Thursday afternoon and glued the last piece of binding on. Mandolin number 7 right here, I actually glued 2 pieces of binding on it, the little inside of the scroll and this little point piece right there. Got it glued on mandolin number 7. And mandolin number 8, I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, it's got its first piece of binding glued on. And, you know, we're doing a couple of extra mandolins that have to have the peg heads bound. So I got a couple of pieces of binding glued on one of those peg heads on Thursday. So Thursday was a really good day. And that leaves us with only one more day in the week, and that's Friday. Now, on Friday, I did get a very little bit of work done. I glued the last piece of binding on mandolin number 7. I started to clean mandolin number 6, but I kind of got caught up with preparations for our family New Year's Eve party. If you guys have been watching for a year, then you saw last year on New Year's Eve that we cleaned the shop out and have family over. Bonnie's fixing a big turkey dinner for tomorrow night, and so we have to clean and sweep and dust and put out tables and shove all the tools to the side of the room and just get everything ready so we can have probably about 15 or 18 family members come over for New Year's Eve party here at our house, and that's what we're going to do. So in these holiday seasons, there's always something that needs to be taken care of, and one of the things that I need to take care of is to thank everybody for their Christmas greetings and their phone calls and their cards and their gifts. So thank you all very, very much for all of your kindness and the holiday cheer. We really appreciate it. I usually post these videos on 6 o'clock on Saturday evening, and if you're one of the first ones that are watching this video on Saturday evening, it's not 2023 yet, but it sure will be in just a little while. So I'd like to wish you a happy new year and come back again next week for the next episode of the Ratliff Mandolins Weekly Production Diary, and I certainly hope to see you then.